Bye-bye.
What's up, Buey Bear?
What's up, Mr. Cheese?
How's it going, man?
How's it going? I'm existing. Also, the island sketches look pretty good, dude.
Thank you. I don't remember what I was thinking. I may have been drunk.
Oh, okay.
Nah, so for the island sketches, I was contemplating a few themes to play with. One being more prison themed. The first one was just kind of a generic coastal port side kind of island, but
Mm-hmm.
as I was producing the pieces, or not the pieces, the couple concepts, it kind of goes into the direction of prison island. So the walls of the island kind of build up slowly, almost like a cage,
Mm-hmm.
like Dressrosa, basically.
One Piece Dressrosa.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one concept I was playing with. The ones earlier on are just generic shapes. Playing around with generic shapes.
Okay.
Um, I don't know how to really push the island in the direction of hunting island,
Hmm.
if that makes sense.
Well, usually, right? I feel like islands aren't great for hunting unless you're looking for like small animals because big animals don't typically live on islands unless
Well,
it's like a big island, like Island Country Island, right?
yeah, the scale that I've put it at makes it seem almost country-esque,
Hmm.
because the whole village slash town will just fit in one of these small areas.
Hmm.
I guess more so I'm looking for thematic elements I could add to it.
I'm sorry, what elements?
Thematic
Hmm.
elements.
Okay.
Maybe not so much functionality as much as uh as much as interest. So I was thinking perhaps I could task you with developing a flagship monster.
Flagship monster.
And then we can reuse the themes from the monsters and the islands.
Okay.
And if not flagship monster, maybe an interesting monster that is plentiful on the island.
Hmm. Well, okay, if we have like different kind of villages, I guess, on the island, and we're looking for different themes, right? For different parts of the island, I'm guessing.
Yes.
We could look at like the different kind of trades they could do. So for example, right, if we have like a village that's closest to the water, then you could easily go into a fishing village, right? And if you have a village in the wooded parts of it, then you can go lumber. Other parts, I'm not sure. Lumber or hunting.
Wait, say that again. Run the thought back. I lost track.
So for like different, depending on location of little towns and villages on the island, right? You could
Yes.
probably use different geographical resources to determine what the theme of the village is, right? So, for example, if it's by the water, you could easily make that town village a fishing town, right? Or something that's like a trade port. Versus like, for example, if you're closer to the wooded parts of the island, right? We could probably
Hmm.
make that the more hunting or hunting bigger things town.
So, are you suggesting we kind of like establish towns and then build the island around that?
Hmm.
Or are you suggesting just for designing the town? Because what I want to work on right now is kind of the island general, and then it's more we can more easily place
Mm,
villages in locations that would make more sense in context.
yeah, I think so. Yeah. So, for example, right, if you have a part of the island that's covered with wood and
Yes.
trees and forests, right, then
Yeah.
if you want to place a village there, then the theme of the village there is what I'm saying
Yeah.
would
The
be
themes of
related
the
to,
village will.
and
Yeah.
that would relate to whatever part of the island that's on. So, and then
I
we could
think
also use that as like a gradient, right? Because we're starting
gradient.
village is in the on the port, right? Which is I'm gonna guess based off of what we have so far, going to be further away from the woods. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So we could start there with the more common, less dangerous, and smaller monsters, like the beginner monsters. And then as the story goes on and you have to go to like actually hunt big monsters, then you would go to the next town on the island, and then you could like also experience a thematic change, right? Of starting port fishing town versus which is relatively safe versus deeper, more rural town on the island, more danger, bigger monsters, maybe, and like a different theme.
Well, I'm not arguing for the villages. I think that is generally how we're going to work with it,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll add context where needed.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's more so I want to develop an interesting silhouette or design for the island
Okay.
itself.
Oh, okay. Just the island in general. Okay.
Yes. And then as we proceed, we can add villages in different context. And if it requires more dangerous themes, more
Okay.
around certain areas, we can always go in there and adjust it. But right now, I kind of wanted a flagship monster of some kind, or a, if not flagship, kind of maybe like iconic creature we could kind of concept out, so that maybe you could add like, oh, the island is kind of shaped like said monster, or like
Uh,
this creature is maybe it's like a rodent kind, or like it's a giant rodent, and so the overall island has different a whole different shape to it, you know.
mm, let me see.
Because as it is now, all we have is basic island, and we
Mm-hmm.
have which has interesting shapes. Like it's not just nothing. It's a basic island with interesting shapes, and we have a sort of cage theme to kind of match the convict theme that we're going with at the start. that makes sense. Have a good lurking. Oh, I also set up my VGen.
Oh, you did? Heck yeah.
Yeah, I just have sketch and full illustrative.
Did you set up your wallet yet?
Yeah.
Be it PayPal or whatnot?
Yeah.
Are you
PayPal.
using PayPal Business for this?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I have a separate PayPal just for that.
Yeah, because until you like do, I don't know, what's it, 3 gigs, you can't. Apparently, you can't use their on-site wallet system, which is a little annoying.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Are you setting up yours?
I'd set up business PayPal, but I was still doing research a while back on what gigs I want to even offer.
I did see that they offered or no, not offered. That I was wrong. You can actually save drafts. It's just there's a couple parameters you have to fill in before you can set
Ah,
the version as a draft, and it's not like a normal save as draft. It's just set as open, closed, waitlist, draft. They put it in that bar, so it's kind of like a little confusing.
hmm.
Aside from that, do you have any interesting or fun ideas we could play into the island?
For the island.
Oh shit, script Tommy.
Oh, hey, it's Tommy. How's it going, dude?
That means joke into
Joke
two.
crate.
Joke into Tommy into human being. Cause you banned.
That I did.
um. Or we could just choose one of the concepts that I've already done, push it a bit more, and then come back to this.
Flagship monster for a demo.
Or maybe there's a theme that you want.
I would need a shape guide.
Yeah, what?
I would need a shape guide of like roughly how we're doing shapes.
Um, I don't know how important that is yet, but I feel like that'll be further
But
down the line when we're
I
adapting.
can write down like a description of it, but actually, well, I mean, I could draw something and then we could stylize it from there. It's possible.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. I
Okay.
think we create like kind of generic creatures at first, and then
And
adapt
then
them to the
effectively put
styling
them into filter.
afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, whether it be color or shape, just kind of
Okay.
like these are kind of like um super basic concepts and kind of filler placeholders almost.
So what was the story again for the island?
Both the island itself or like the
Well,
narrative we
okay,
have.
the narrative so far on the world, the function is that there's magic,
Yes.
medieval,
Yes.
European, kind of.
Yes.
Your escaped convict land in an island. You've got no money, and people are hunting monsters, and you try to hunt monsters.
Could potentially play into themes of facade.
Okay.
So maybe we could have an island with an unassuming appearance, but then everything's like fucking dangerous. Or maybe it's got a really dangerous appearance and then everything's really chill. Or maybe like have creatures that appear very harmless, but then are actually a pain in the ass to fight.
Do you want to start? Do you want to use traditional fantasy type creatures? Or are
How
we
do you mean?
inventing new species?
I think we would be inventing new species with inspiration.
Okay.
So like,
Inventing new species, and we're also working with a lot of different races.
yes. Yeah, but we're
Okay.
just talking about the game project that Bean and I will be working on. How you doing, man? How's your stream, Joke slash Tommy? How you guys doing? So so yeah, I was kind of wondering if there are themes we would like to play into. Like, would we want
Are these
like if
like
you were to
just benevolent creatures just existing, or are they like
forget about the character, the creature design for now. We're talking about the island design.
okay?
So, if you were to distill the island into a word, how would you do that?
Uh,
Example being like facade, caged, free, uh, open, flowy. If you were to distill it into one word, what would you go with?
I feel like tropical works with the because originally we are looking to do something with very vibrant colors, right? That was
But
one of the first thoughts that we had, I recall, on color palette.
yes,
And if we
do
have
you
like
want
kind of
the
like
whole island to
a
be tropical?
mm,
Even more basic than like just a descriptor, like a feeling you want to evoke, I guess.
mm, I think pretty could work.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Okay. In that sense, then there should be an emphasis on everything looking excessively sparkly, things looking good, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
So in terms of island designs, like what I would imagine as pretty is maybe like lots of flora fauna.
Hmm.
Um a lot more greens than rock, maybe.
I feel like we could reference the
Galapagos.
Galapagos Islands for that. Just because that way, if we're doing like a similar theme, and especially if we're inventing new species, we could use that kind of style of island as a excuse for or a reason for the biodiversity, right? And size-wise, that would also make sense, like scale of island. So like a tropical, I'm thinking, island.
Being, are you actually upset about lurking while they stream?
Hmm?
Are you legitimately upset?
Why are they reaching out to you?
They're just wondering.
Am I
I imagine in
upset?
which case they don't actually want to upset you. They're
Really
just being a
now?
troll person. They are just a troll person.
Upset me? Well, I guess you'll find out by how long the band's gonna be.
I will take that as there is some upsetness there.
Take it however you wish.
That's how I will interpret it. Oh. He is
I,
in distress.
I do recall giving multiple warnings.
Mm-hmm.
That I did. I do believe you were there for some of them at least.
I heard the last one, I think.
Ah. And I don't think it's good if I don't make good on my word. It's very simple.
The innocent money. I
Pardon?
just got back. What
Yeah.
happened? Oh, your chat.
Ah. A hammer may or may not have gotten swung.
He's eating in the rain, staring at the staring.
Well, a good opportunity to, reflect on some things, to meditate perhaps. I'd
This is the
recommend it.
character development. Character development. Cheesy or stinky. That is fair. That's a fair assumption. I smell pretty bad. What else? You want the thematic to be pretty, yeah? Do you?
I just think it works better for our original design goal, right? Because one of our design goals is to contrast between aesthetics and what you're doing. So I'm thinking you're on a picturesque tropical island with very beautiful things, and then you're hacking away at the local wildlife, like the brute that you are. I think that would work fairly well.
Just trying to think of how pretty applies in a shape language sense for the island.
Have a good lie down, dude.
Specifically because pretty is more subjective than I was expecting of an answer. Hey, have a good rest, dude. Take care.